Yes, it is. I'm sure. I had a lot of experience with that when I first moved to Chile. As you know, when I went down there 14 years ago, I didn't speak a word of Spanish. And it took me a long time to get adjusted to it, and it was a long, difficult struggle. But yeah, it was possible, but very limited, and I wouldn't recommend it as an approach to living, for anybody that was going to move to a country where, and anticipating that they were going to live there for any length of time. I would recommend that they, do a better job than I did in trying to learn the language.
Aparte del lenguaje verbal, existen varias formas de comunicarse, como lenguajes corporales, señales, emociones que muestran uno con la cara, pero es difícil comunicarse entre dos personas que no hablan el mismo lenguaje. Una comunicación efectiva no es fácil.
Effectively, no. It's not easy to do, but there are various other forms to communicate. Corporally, using gestures, and corporalmente y cómo? Yeah, and emotionally. So there's a lot of other, nonverbal information that gets passed around that makes it a little easier, a little more effective.
The definition of communication is the interchange of thoughts, opinions, or information by speech, writing, or sign. Elements of face-to-face communication include 30% tone, 10% verbal, and 60% body language. Words only make up a small part of communication. 90% of communication is nonverbal, which shows that even if people don't speak the same language, they can communicate. It may not be effectively, but it is still communication.
I usually have, yeah. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine who died recently, unfortunately, was completely fluent in English. Having gone to an all-boys English boarding school in Chile as a kid, and I usually had him by my side, and he would do all the translating for me. So I basically cheated for a number of years before I really got oriented to Spanish.
Muestro lo que quiero comunicar, como un vaso, luz.
Only show what you want to communicate. A glass, a light. Just to show it, point to it, and, it becomes very primitive.
8 tips for communicating with limited English proficiency people. Number 1, English is a difficult language. Pronunciation of some words and syllables can be hard for non-native speakers. Number 2, keep it simple. Keep your word choice and sentences as simple as possible and try to avoid run-on sentences. Number 3, give and seek feedback. Head nodding usually means someone can understand you, but ask follow-up questions to ensure that someone can completely understand you. 4, not understanding versus misunderstanding. When someone doesn't understand, they will ask you to repeat yourself or have a look of confusion on their face, but sometimes someone can misunderstand what you're saying, so you need to ask the follow-up questions. Number 5, speak slowly and clearly, not loudly. Try to enunciate as much as possible. When you speak loudly at someone, it can make them feel uncomfortable. And number 6, repeat if necessary, which is pretty self-explanatory. Number 7, avoid acronyms, idioms, and abbreviations. Say things the long way and avoid saying things that may create confusion. Some sayings that you may use, someone may not understand. Number 8, write it down and demonstrate while you're speaking. Use hand gestures and write out some words for the other person so they can have a better understanding of what you are saying. Tone and body language are a big part of communication. When we don't understand the words someone is saying, we can use their tone and body language to help put the pieces.
Sí, eso es una frustración, no entender lo que alguien está diciendo.
It's a frustration when you don't understand what someone is trying to say.
Porque es importante participar.
Because it's important to participate in the conversation.
No puedes participar y tampoco puedes expresar lo que sientes frente a otras personas.
You can't participate in front of the other people.
Las otras personas no pueden conocer quién realmente eres cuando no puedes comunicar.
And when the other people don't really know who you are when you can't communicate.
The way we try and communicate with someone can really affect the way they feel about us and view us. If someone sees that you are making no effort to communicate with them, you won't have a good relationship with that person. If an effort is made, a relationship can be built upon. My experience. This summer, my uncle came home from Chile and brought his Colombian girlfriend, who didn't speak any English. My first thought was, this is going to be a problem. How are we supposed to talk to her? We all knew we had my uncle who could translate for us, but we knew that he wouldn't always be by her side. My family had to figure out a way to talk to her. We realized that gestures, body language, and the tone of our voices really helped her to understand. When she was speaking to us in Spanish, we had to listen closely for cognates and watch the gestures she made. Even though we didn't speak the same language, we were able to communicate. It may have been difficult, but we made it work so we could have an enjoyable vacation.
Is it really possible for two people who speak different languages to communicate? The answer is yes.